You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
CNN hangs Scott Jennings out to dry over his McConnell health claims, based on an article by Nicole Charmy. CNN helped launder a health rumor into political theater. CNN has now disowned Scott Jennings' claims about Mitch McConnell's condition, saying his comments were his own experience, not network reporting. The clarification matters, because Jennings was not speaking into a vacuum. He used CNN's platform to amplify speculation about an 84-year-old senator who has been hospitalized since June 14, while McConnell's office has refused to disclose a cause. Who actually holds power? The real institutional power in the story sits with McConnell's office and the Republican machine around him. They control the information, decide what gets disclosed, and can turn the center's health into a black box whenever transparency becomes inconvenient. Jennings, for his part, is not an independent witness in any serious journalistic sense. He is a former McConnell campaign operative now functioning as a partisan commentator with a CNN credential. That is a structure, here a powerful political office withholding facts, and a media platform giving a loyal insider room to fill the gap with self-serving reassurance. The decision was not neutral. CNN did not invent the rumor mill, but it helped legitimize it by giving Jennings airtime as if his personal conversation carried evidentiary weight. That is a choice, not an accident. When a network books a McConnell ally to narrate McConnell's condition, it is not reporting uncertainty. It is outsourcing verification to a political actor with obvious incentives. Jennings said the center called him, that his voice sounded strong, and later suggested McConnell was preparing to return to work. None of that is confirmation. It is a partisan interpretation dressed up as access. Misdirection as a media habit. The article's central irritation is not merely that Jennings spoke beyond his evidence. It is that the burden of scrutiny keeps drifting away from the institution that owes the public real information. Instead of pressing McConnell's office on why the cause of hospitalization remains undisclosed, the media spectacle turns into a sidebar about whether a Republican insider sounded optimistic enough on cable. That is how institutional opacity survives, not through silence alone, but through managed chatter that converts a public matter into a personality dispute. The larger pattern, this is the familiar arrangement between political power and prestige media. A powerful figure circle controls the facts, allies supply the gloss, and cable news packages the result as access. The network then pretends to correct the record after the damage is already done, as if a disclaimer can undo the function of the platform. The deeper problem is not one commentator getting ahead of the facts. It is a media ecosystem willing to treat proximity to power as a substitute for accountability, especially when the person at the center is old, powerful, and politically useful to keep opaque. What this reveals, McConnell's hospitalization is not just a health story. It is a case study in how elite institutions manage vulnerability, conceal first, spin second, clarify only when forced. CNN's late distancing from Jennings does not fix that. It only confirms that the network was willing to host political laundering until criticism made the arrangement costly. That is, the system's secrecy from the office, cover from the commentator, and belated innocence from the broadcaster. None of it is confusion. It is managed power. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Norman. Thanks for listening.